Nagulantang ang publiko ngayong araw matapos biglang magpakita si former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte sa isang paliparan sa Pilipinas nang walang anumang anunsyo o abiso. Agad na kumalat sa social media ang mga larawan at video ng kanyang pagdating na nagdulot ng matinding excitement at espekulasyon sa mga netizen. Ayon sa mga saksi, tila kampante at masigla ang dating Pangulo habang binabati ang mga taong nakasalubong niya sa arrival area. Hindi nagtagal ay nagsimula ng maghisteriya sa tuwa ang napakaraming taga-suporta na nagtipon para masilayan siya. Umalingaw-ngaw ang hiyawan, palakpakan at tila mini rally na pagsalubong mula sa madla na dahilan upang higpitan pa ng mga security personnel ang kontrol sa lugar. Ilang bahagi ng paliparan ang pansamantalang nahirapan sa daloy ng tao dahil sa dami ng gustong lumapit, magpa-picture at magbigay suporta kay FPRD. Samantala, napaulat na natulala si Pangulong Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. matapos malaman ang biglaang pagdating ni Duterte at ang naging matinding reaksyon ng publiko. Ayon sa mga impormante, hindi umano ito inaasahan ng Malacanang, lalo na sa gitna ng may init na isyung politikal sa bansa. Habang patuloy na nag-abang ang publiko, maraming nagtatanong kung ano ang tunay na dahilan ng biglaang pagpapakita ni FPRD. At kung may susunod pang hakbang na magpapainit muli sa eksena ng politika.
Diba? So kung sasabihin mong 80% of smokers might get, we know what that means. No? So in my readings, between 30 to 33% of Filipinos are endangered. So I guess it's also the environment, poverty, diba, malnutrition in the area, diba? Pero malayo naman yung statistics ng prevalence dun sa potential na ma-stunt. But of course, we still have to look at yung potential kasi parang 4Ps lang yan eh. Correct. Naka-recover na pero nagkaroon ng baha, nagkaroon ng bagyo, nagkaroon ng sunog, balik to square one yon, di ba? So pag sinabing potential, let's say, kung ang barn halimbawa gumaganda yung health, pero God forbid magkagulo, babalik na naman yung rate nung stunting, no? So sa pag sinabing prevalence, anong ibig sabihin? Yun na yung stunted at that time or what?
Yes, Mr. President. Pag prevalence, it's the number of kids that are stunted. So pag sinabing 23.6%, so all under 5 kids, meron tayong 2 out of 10 kids na stunted.
Since I'm not a doctor, but you and Dr. Mercado are doctors, respected doctors, tell us a little bit about stunting. No? What is it, and then at what age nagiging irreversible? And when you say irreversible, is it both the physical or pati sa mental?
That's correct. No? So inaral na rin to nung EDCOM, I think a committee that was created, a commission that was created by the Senate. So the problem of stunting is not only physical. So stunted, we have kids that don't grow very tall, no? So we have people in the remote provinces that are only up to 4'11" or even 5 feet, and they're adults already. But the real impact on stunting is really brain stunting. So the brain develops at a younger age. So it stops growing after 6, 5, and 7 years old. So if we're unable to grow the brain to the proper size, nagkakaroon ng learning difficulties in school. I think the EDCOM was trying to study the root cause of why we have learning difficulties, and that why we were lowest in Southeast Asia in the cognitive. So yung cognitive is the learning capability. So if the kid is stunted, the brain also doesn't develop, Mr. President, and then, of course, the brain becomes smaller. So it's not the physical height, it's like the outward appearance na yung bata stunted. Problem is, naayos ba yung brain development niya, so that even if we give them education, good public primary education, hindi natututo, they have difficulty in school. So yun yung bigger impact why we as a government needs to address stunting.
So some call it linear growth failure, no? Or sa Pilipino, di ba yung well, is there another word for bansot or pagbabansot sa in our Filipino language?
Bansot is the term for
yes.
stunting, yeah.
So and basically it's a linear growth failure. No?
I prefer to call it impaired cognitive development.
impaired cognitive.
So what we're scared of is the impaired cognitive
So
development.
in other words, when the mother is healthy and the child is has the proper nutrition upbringing in the first 1,000 days, he's free from potential stunting. No, but number one cause ng stunting is nutrition.
Yes, both the actual nutrition of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, but also micronutrients like iron, folic acid, which also allows the brain to develop.
Which over the years, as you said, 44%, that probably 60s or 70s. That's why over the years, for example, yung mga salt na may iron or yung, there's been developments all over, di ba? Of course, labeling ng foods para alam natin kapag ano yung nutrition, prenatal check-ups na ini-encourage, etc. No? But the point I want to make, which you agreed with naman last year, is that somehow our strategy is not working, or if it's not working enough. Diba? As I said kanina, ang stunting kasi parang sunog eh. Either napatay mo o hindi. Diba? Kasi yung sunog, pag sinabi ko sa iyo, 50% napatay na namin, that's good news. Pero pag hindi mo napatay yung other 50%, lalaki ulit yung yung sunog. So ang problema sa stunting, if it's that big, 30% ang endangered, 23% ang stunted, at what age pala, sir, does this become irreversible?
About 6. So that's our problem, Mr. President, as you said correctly. Medyo we've been doing the same thing over the years. We've given our budget highest to the Department of Education. Nando dun yung feeding program natin. But the people that go to DepEd on the public school is already above 6. So kung na-stunt na yung brain nila before the first 1,000 days, kahit i-feed natin sila, hindi na natin na-reverse. Yun yung sinasabi yung linear growth regression. So what happens is, we talked about this in the cabinet, nag-usap-usap kami to try to put this. So now nutrition is one of those included in convergence budgeting. Kasi nga, nung nakita namin...
Can you explain that? So nung nag-usap kayo, pumayag si Sec Sani and si Sec Rex.
So nakita nila so what happens in feeding is the first 1,000 days is DOH talaga. Yung buntis, yung antenatal check-up, yung bakuna sa bata, and the vitamins for the first up to 2 years old. Pagdating sa before school age, it's DSWD. So yung feeding program before school age, DSWD gumagawa nun. Tapos pagdating ng DepEd, pag nasa eskwelahan na sila, DepEd yung may
so let me stop you there and acknowledge that, because our chairman, Senator Win, did explain that, or I mean, Sec Sani did explain that through Sen Win, and then same nung si Senator Pia ang sponsor kay Sec Rex. Pero both of them acknowledge walang point person pa sa stunting. So is DOH now the will spearhead, or kasi pati yung World Bank program, yes, multisectoral, all of government. Pero may official or unofficial chairman ba yun, o timon or captain ball on it?
Mr. President, we currently have 2 councils addressing nutrition. One is an old council called the National Nutrition Council. So ito yung naggagawa ng strategy together with DA, all the other
Ito pinapanood natin, pero ang utak natin ay nandun sa kay PRRD. No? Kasi kung gugustuhin lang ho ng Estado na mapauwi itong si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, walang Kaufman na kailangan. Walang Kaufman. Ang lahat ng resources ng pamahalaan, ibubuhos nila yan para makuha ang dating presidente. Pero dito, ang Petrang Garapata po.
Government agencies.
Kakalungkot talaga sa tulang.
And then yung bagong nagawa was the Zero Hunger Council, correct? It's an interagency task force for zero hunger. So that was created by...
And Mr. Secretary, anong role mo dun sa dalawang council niya?
Chair ako doon sa National Nutrition Council at co-chair po kami doon sa IATF for Zero Hunger.
So can I ask you to be the stunting SAR? At least while you're there, and if it's until 2028? Kasi if you're co-chair of that too, and multisectoral, kasi in the Philippines, pag walang na-hold accountable, it's a hard task.
Correct.
But someone has to do it. So dumaan ba sa'yo yung budget proposal ng National Nutrition Council muna?
Yes po, naka-attached yan sa ating NEP. It was
Yes,
attached.
but I mean, the Secretary submits it, di ba?
Correct.
So did you put any increase, did you propose any increase for them?
Yes, sir. We proposed for an increase in the...
No coaching muna ha, kasi napakalaking problema to and I want to know. No, it's okay kasi nga that's your job to even si Yusek, he's welcome. Nasaan si Yusek last time?
Napunta ko naman Mr. President sa
papasukin mo.
likod.
I'm not mad at him and he has many friends here who told me he's a good guy. ASEC. Hindi lang, Mr. President, Mr. Secretary, ako napagalitan ako ng professor ko, Attorney Binluan, for coaching my classmate. Ang masama, yung classmate ko yun nag-drop out kaya sayang yung coach ko sa kanya. Pero I learned my lesson na pag sinabi na nung teacher, no coaching, don't. So yun lang namang kinagalit ko kay ASEC na sinabi ko ng wag, siguro loyal sa'yo. I had that kind of ASECs. I hope my staff, but listen to each other tayo. So he's welcome and he can join you dyan sa harap. I'm not, he's not banned from the Senate and everyone is saying he knows his job. So going back, sa tier 1 nyo ba nilagay yung increase?
Yes, Mr. President.
And more or less lang, or sige, you can tell the Secretary, magkanong hiningin yung increase for the Nutrition Council? But Sec, I mean, I don't want to go ballistic, etc. But, di ba, like ako, nung sa Foreign Affairs, dalawa ang pinupinteriya ko every single cabinet meeting. Dagdagan yung pondo na, dalawa yon, LAF, yung legal assistance, at saka yung isa na para sa welfare, tapos passports. So anytime ako tinanong, magkano sinabit mo kay Sec Joc, no, magkano, alam ko in my heart, and kung hindi niya ibigay, so kung hiningi ko 1 billion, ang binigay 600 million, I know it in my heart. Kasi yun ang priority ko eh. So I was really hoping na priority nyo talaga ang anti-stunting. No? So how much did you ask
Mr.
for?
President, ang hiningi po namin ay almost 2.489 billion.
For the Nutrition Council.
For the National Nutrition Council.
Ang binigay
pero
300.
Tier 2 po nilagay ng DBM ito.
No. Ang naglalagay sa tier 1 or 2 kayo, hindi DBM. Okay? Oh. So for people listening, the department submits its budget. Pag tier 1, yun yung
Mr.
priority.
President, can I just
Go ahead.
add some information? Yeah. Just so for the record, as far as the Senate is concerned, we did not receive any request for additional budget for NNC. We have many requests for additional budget for DOH and DSWD, which I also handle on supplemental feeding, etc. But for National Nutrition Council, none. And also for the record, there's a decrease in the budget, but that is because may capital outlay in the previous year that was no longer needed this year. And final point is, they usually, their focus is policy. Maybe the Secretary can elaborate on that, but we are quite happy with the 3.3 billion supplemental feeding, but that goes to DSWD. But
Yes.
just to know that, for the body to know that we
that
recommend
is
them.
most helpful
And the chairman
information
accepted.
because the 2 points I want to make, if it's not a priority, it's not a priority. Diba? We can probably have per department baka 3, malaki na yung 5 na priority. But above that, the reality is, pag sinabi ng DBM or ng Congress, Senate, ikakat yan. So
And
the second,
sorry, one last, just to complete the picture. This whole nutrition program starts with the first 1,000 days when the mother is pregnant. So there is a 900 million request which we submitted to the Finance Committee, and the Finance Committee informed us that they will grant it. But again, this is the DSWD budget
Yes.
because, as the Secretary said, some budgets are with the DSWD, some are with DOH, and some are with DepEd for the information of the
and
public.
I will merge that with information from Rex, yung nga about the nutrition scholars, the barangay health workers, who are our heroes, who knows best sa pagbabahay-bahay. Most of our barangay health workers, and let me honor Senator J.V. Ejercito, nandun ako sa LEDAC. You were on your Senate break kasi hindi kayo senador at the time, Mr. President. Kaya ko lang kayo hindi binabanggit. So, Senator JV is pushing na magkaroon ng sweldo ang ating mga barangay health workers. Fortunately, sa Taguig, I think contractual. So they're making much more. There are certain cities that have done it. Nutrition scholars. Ang request nga nila, di ba? Rubber shoes at saka anti-rabies kasi hinahabol sila ng mga aso sa pagkakatok nila araw-araw. But the point I wanted to make is whether it's symbolic that the council who is fighting for our health, our nutrition, anti-stunting, or whether it is, may problema nga sa policy eh. Diba? So, ang survey na ginagawa ng, dalawang survey ang nagaganap, Mr. Secretary, every year, di ba? Ang National Nutrition Survey conducted by DOST Food and Nutrition every 5 years. Di ba? And mukhang masyadong malayo ang 5 years. Kasi kung every 5 years, paano natin alam kung yung intervention natin last year or this year, di ba? So if you had it, even if it's not the whole of the Philippines, let's say, sa yung pagkaalam, Secretary, saan ang worst prevalence ng 2 or 3 provinces na worst ang prevalence ng stunting?
So we have actually the remote areas in Mindanao, mataas ang stunting. We have the island provinces.
Okay.
Merong mga
so I'll
island.
take that, but BARM is number 1. So I would suggest both to DST, to the National Nutrition, and to DOH, you use BARM as one of your pilot projects. Diba? Na whether 3, 6 months, I don't know yung survey kung ano, but masyadong matagal tong sa National Nutrition. Second, the National Demographic and Health Survey by the Philippine Statistics Authority. But obviously, if you remember yung Brexit and yung unang panalo ni President Trump, hindi nahuli ng survey yon. Sa survey, hindi mananalo ang Brexit eh. Sa survey, hindi rin mananalo yung si President Trump nung una. So obviously, garbage in is garbage out. So this is not garbage. But I'm saying, if this is gold, baka may mga diamond sa survey na hindi natatanong eh. So for example, yung isang diamond na si Sec Rex at saka si Sec Sani ang nagsabi, aside from the EDCOM, is that it's really 0 to 11 months and then 12 months to 2 years. But yung isa din nilang sinabi is that how do you get to the mothers? Diba? So, sa policy ba, because you're chair, so how many meetings does the National Nutrition Council have in a year?
We meet quarterly,
Quarterly.
Mr. President. Yes.
And you attend all of them?
Yes, I chair all of them.
More or less? Or
More or less.
More or less.
There are
How many times have you traveled since you became secretary?
Last year, 11.
And the year before?
The year before, 23, I think 6.
And then this year?
This year, ilan? I forget.
And when you travel, how long are you out of the country usually?
A few days, because I only attend the meetings.
But itong last budget hearing, sabi ng staff mo, 2 weeks? Or 2 weeks yung conference?
No, I went
2 weeks
to
yung conference.
I went to
pero
a
yung 2 weeks.
WHO regional meeting.
Which was
and
in
it was
2
5
weeks.
days
5
only.
days, okay.
So the travel time was 1
And
day
that
each.
travel usually doesn't interrupt your chairing PhilHealth or National Nutrition Council.
We scheduled the council meetings when I'm available.
How about PhilHealth? Have you attended?
Yes, I always attend the PhilHealth.
Okay. So you're familiar with
Yes.
their ano. So can you tell us in a nutshell anong change in policy ang sinasuggest ng National Nutrition Council? Then we'll go back to the budget.
Well,
What is the 1, 2, 3 or one thing or 1, 2, 3 things that they want to change so that we can have an impact sa anti-stunting?
Dalawang pinag-uusapan doon. One is the Tutok Kainan program, which is a program that they implemented. It's that they implement through the barangay nutrition scholars. So ito yung making sure that the Pinggang Pinoy is implemented
Mr.
in the
President,
communities.
Secretary, can I interrupt while you're talking
Yes.
one by one? No? So in that, how much money do we have for that program and who's implementing that?
Yun yung, Mr. President, na requested namin na tier to about 2.3 billion
Okay.
to implement the program.
And then under the council yon.
Under the council, but personally, I prefer that the feeding programs or the nutrition programs be in the Bureau of Public Health, because that's where the nutrition program is. And the council is really just like a board. It's
And
the
the-
different agencies, DA.
I understand.
Oh.
So parang PDEA versus yung Dangerous Drug Board.
Correct,
diba? Yung
correct.
implementer, yung PDEA. Okay, having said that, ang barangay health workers who are mostly volunteers at nutrition scholars, of course, are under barangay and the city.
LGU, yes, yes.
But may supervision ang DOH?
Correct. So we do training for them. We do, like for example,
So
yung
is that under the regional director?
Yes. Well, they're under the LGU, but
Yes.
we coordinate through regional. We also have regional council, regional nutrition areas that actually support them.
Okay.
But our RDs actually
No,
do.
the reason I
implement
ask
the
you, I'm
program.
trying to figure out what to recommend to Senator Pia and Senator Win, because if you have the money sa DepEd, you have the money sa DSWD, you have the money from World Bank here, pero yung accountability magulo, baka, Senator Win, we can propose, let's say, the top 3 or top 5 na most stunted, ilagay natin lahat sa ilalim ng public health, just for 1 year, to see nga if it makes an impact and a change. I think the highest is BARM, 34.3%. Prevalence to, prevalence. Senator Robin is here and he's been championing this. Senator Robin is a man of peace. Sa sine lang yung bad boy, pero dito good boy yan. But you know, I was telling him kanina, can you imagine, Mr. Secretary, if you're 5, 6 years old now at stunted ka, then at the time you're 20 years old, you're functional except stunted, nabasa mo to, tapos lumaki ka, you were 3 years old, 2 years old nung Marawi siege, tapos ganyan nangyari sa'yo, baka magrebelde ka. Di ba? So, if we do not address the so many injustices in Barn, and then 1 out of 3 are stunted, then makikita nila ang, halimbawa, ang Central Luzon, nasa below 20%, below 20%, di ba? Parang, bakit kayo pinapaboran doon? Which is not the case. But then, if we don't do an intervention now, ganun mangyayari. Soc-Sargen, 33%. Zamboanga Peninsula, 31%. Ang layo, Ilocos Region, 16%. Central Luzon, 16.1%. Cagayan Valley, 16.6%. So kung Metro Manila ang 16 mo, the money is all here, the hospitals are here, the head offices, it's understandable eh. But if we can do this in Ilocos, Central Luzon, and Cagayan Valley, I think we can lower the prevalence rates in BARM, Soc-Sargen, and Peninsula if we really put our acts together. So my question nga, Mr. Secretary, if pinag-uusapan nyo yung cabinet, etc., bakit hindi namin nararamdaman yung sense of urgency? Is it just because maraming ibang urgent or nasa news lang kasi parati yung corruption or flooding? Di ba? Kasi ang in-expect ko, ang chairman namin through you or kayo, or you present to us, it's just like vaccines eh. Pag kami nagsita sa inyo, it doesn't mean na lahat ng kasalanan sa inyo, pero naghihintay kami, bakit hindi nyo sinasabi sa amin kung ano problema o anong solusyon? So in other words, masama na yung hindi proactive, masama na nga yung hindi active, galit na nga tayo kung reactive. Pero if we feel, I'm not saying it's true, I'm talking about perception. If ang perception namin, there's wala na nga action, wala pang reaction, di ba? So meaning, if Secretary